Hey guys, Nkeets here with a video on Overwatch 2. And it's not really a video that I wanted to do, like, at all, you know, specifically. I mean, technically I could classify this as my first impressions of the game as well. You know, like my pros and cons, what I think is good and what I think are bad. But for the most part, I just kind of wanted to talk about, well, clearly the bigger issues that happen on launch, as well as day 2, like the majority of day 2. I mean, like, yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into it, all right? Well, Overwatch 2 basically launched, I believe Tuesday at around 3 p.m. Well, a little bit early. Some people said that they got in like early. And of course, well, we should expect, you know, when they completely killed off the game entirely and put a sequel out, or sequel. Yeah, they put that out, and, you know, it's to be expected that, you know, that all of the people are gonna crowd the servers and everything. So when people got in, there was like 50K people in the queue time, or something like that. You know, people were just like waiting, and then it was pretty bad. Like, I think people sat in queues for like hours and couldn't get in and stuff like that. People did manage to get in very, very rarely. Like, there were people playing the game, I think. And that was one of the issues that happened. There was also reports of DCs, you know, and I think it's still, I mean, at the time of this recording and putting out the video, yeah, the DCs are still there, but I think right now they're a little bit smoother. But during launch and even yesterday, they were bad. And I think especially yesterday, I sat in a queue and I got disconnected like 3 times, and I just had to put the game down. I was just like, this is not it. I was gonna go play something else. So yeah, and that's very disappointing when you plan a whole day ahead to play a game that you wanted, and then it's not even about waiting in a queue for like, you know, 3 hours. It's the fact that sometimes you just can't even get into a queue. I had a bug where it told me 0 players were in the server, and at some point it just kicked me out and then started the process all over again. So I had to wait like a few hours. And what you're seeing right now is actually footage I finally got to record after waiting an hour in a queue. And thanks to someone I'm playing from Discord, thank you, by the way. I appreciate you tagging along and making at least the experience a little bit more, you know, fun. Because, yeah, there was not much fun to be had on this game. So, oh man. But yeah, so there's more, other than the DCs and, you know, the overloading on servers and people waiting for God knows how long. And then there was another issue where people would see the number drop and then the number would go back up, and I would just keep doing that and nobody got in. So I don't know what's going on. And then at some point there was a number that's just stuck. People sat in, like, let's say not in the 10K region, but let's say like in a couple of thousand, maybe even 100. People would see the same number, and for a small number, you would think that players would just kind of dip at some point and you can get in. But no, that number just kept going. Like, you never got past that, and it's just like, yeah, you just don't get to play the game. And yeah, it's kind of ruined the whole vibe. Like, I had a plan to make videos on the launch day, but here I am making a rant video, and yeah, it's just not fun. It really killed off the vibe that I was gonna have for the game. I was gonna get on, play with probably some people, you know, have some fun. I still did have some fun, you know, in these clips, or in these games I've managed to get. Yeah, I had some fun, but the fun only lasted, you know, when you're in the game. But when you're like waiting, and you had to make a video on something. At some point, I was like, if I wasn't gonna get into the game, I was going to just make a video on the queue time thing. It was gonna be like 50 seconds or a minute, and that was gonna be my video until I managed to get in eventually. And then I heard people playing comp. Some of the people that I was talking with, or even I guess some streamers. Obviously, if you've seen some of the streamers and anyone who actually started to play comp, the DC was pretty bad. They got DC'd mid-game, so there goes anything going on with that. So, and I know it's placements and stuff like that, but you know, playing a serious, you know, competitive game and being DC'd mid-game is not ideal. Now, I've had issues like this to begin with when the game, even in Overwatch 1, I've had issues like this. There was another issue at some point in Overwatch 1 where during the character selection screen, I would get like, I don't know, a hero pick bug where I couldn't pick the character and stuff like that, and it sort of kicked me out of the game. And I tried to rejoin, and it couldn't let me rejoin. So it essentially counted that as a loss, and yeah, I lost my SR and I had to be sitting a penalty, which is not really fun. There's also, you know, a lot of other DCs and disconnects, but yeah, that was not that bad. It was not common whatsoever as when we're getting here with the launch day. And partially it is due to the 2 DDoS attacks that Blizzard had to go with on launch. One happened, and I think another one happened. And you can take this as you will, and please do not attack the developers. I know Blizzard could do better for covering everything here, but DDoS is a pretty bad thing. But yeah, it's very difficult to deal with DDoS, and I'm not too sure how legitimate it is if they actually did get attacked or their servers just couldn't handle anything. I mean, we're all getting tired of seeing companies who will have billions of dollars at this point that can't handle very important days when a game has a very big launch or very big anything, and it just doesn't work. Yeah. I mean, the worst thing I've seen was in Apex Season 9 when the game was down for a whole day because the servers were just not working. And that's EA. So, yeah, gaming companies don't know what they're doing sometimes, but I still do, you know, I'm still on the developer side, but yeah, some of these were just whatever. I guess you can blame the corporate end of things since they're probably the ones in charge of servers and trying to handle all of that. So I do commend the developers for trying their absolute best to get the servers to run. But of course, the servers are that was not just the only issue with the game. Then we've got the missing cosmetics. People were locked out of their heroes and had to force to unlock heroes, even though they've played the original game. So they just had to re-unlock heroes, but then I think they patched that, I believe. I'm not too sure. I think they did. But yeah, there was that, missing cosmetics. The watch point pack that people bought for $40 did not happen. Some people didn't get the battle pass or something. I don't know. And it's like, okay, well, at this point, don't buy anything. Don't do anything. I mean, I ended up playing comp, but I didn't actually get DC, thank God. But yeah, do not do anything crazy like buying anything, because the game is still kind of unstable at the moment. Right now, it's just long queue times, but that's about it. Okay, so that's servers and whatever the hell, people waiting in queue, and yeah, people are still waiting in queues and probably getting DC'd. I don't know. It's just, yeah, the work could be done, and I think they're getting it underway. But next thing I wanted to discuss before I move on to the pros and cons of the game is one of the weirdest things they tried to, like, you know, authorize to help with like cheaters and hackers, and that is the SMS 2 verification program with your phone contract. So people with prepaid phone contracts or whatever couldn't like play the game at all. Like, yeah. So And that goes for the people who essentially, like, I've seen comments saying that, you know, people who played Overwatch 1, you know, they played it, they enjoyed their games and had fun with together, but now come Overwatch 2, a sequel, and essentially the game replaced Overwatch 1, so you can't even play Overwatch 1 anymore. You know, a system where none of that actually existed. So now we come into Overwatch 2, when they implemented all this stuff, they can't play because they don't have the proper phone contract or something. Which is really stupid and weird. Like, okay, I understand the system is to stop smurfing and cheating into the game, because now, instead of just making accounts for nothing, they decided to take a very drastic direction by limiting all that through a phone where you can only use like one phone number per account and stuff like that. So people that don't own phones can't play the game, obviously. And yeah, they've limited, I guess, like, it just really sucks. Imagine like being too poor to play a free-to-play game. Oh my god. Yeah, it's bad. It's just bad. Especially if you played Overwatch 1 and then all of a sudden you just can't play the game that you paid for. Mind you, people paid for Overwatch 1, and now that they can't play Overwatch 2 because of a phone contract that they deem is cheap, because I guess they think that, you know, you can just spam buy accounts during that entire thing, which I guess is, you know, valid, but still, that's like killing off part of the community that really wanted to play the game and they can't because of a phone contract. So that's just not exciting at all. But there was an update, thank God, as of today. They said that they're taking that away for people who I believe played Overwatch 1 up till June 21st, June something 2021. I think it was like June 6th, 2021. Yeah, they said that basically that they're taking that plan away, but for the new players, they still kind of have to, which it's a weird, you know, process. Like, imagine trying to play a new game and you just can't because you don't have a phone. It's like the whole Diablo meme all over again, asking for phones. If we have phones, you know, can you play the game with your phone? Do you have a phone? Yeah, that sort of thing all over again. All right, well, ranting time over. Yeah, I don't think I have much to discuss on the whole matter of Blizzard and this entire launch day. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the fact that I had to take time out of my day to make this video as opposed to what I wanted to do. Because now I've played the game, my reactions are probably not as insane as they're going to be going forward, because I already know most of the stuff here that's happened, and that kind of sucks. Yeah, well, I think that's all I have to say. And going forward, I'm just gonna have fun gameplay footage of the game, thank God. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.